Well, viewers, the horrors of the Hamas terrorists have shocked the entire world, but some still continue to whitewash this bloodshed under the garb of raising their voice for Palestine. Protests march were held in many parts of the world today, claiming to stand in solidarity with Palestine, almost completely ignoring the terror that has been unleashed by Hamas. And let's tell you why. The Hamas leadership called on supporters worldwide to hold a day of rage or protests across the world. In fact, the Hamas leadership also called for violence, not just in Israel, but against Israelis and Jews across the world. Following this, the Israeli government also urged the citizens in the country and in other parts of the world to stay wary of possible demonstrations and violence. But this call from the Hamas appears to have turned even university campuses into battlegrounds between supporters of Israel and Palestine. Earlier today, protests were held in UCLA, one of America's most prestigious universities. In fact, supporters of Palestine even raised chants and they staged this protest march within the campus. The university has now distanced itself from these protests. Let's take a look first at what happened. In fact, it's not just in UCLA. Protests were also held in Columbia University, both in support of Israel and Palestine. Many Israeli students there claimed that their own families are in danger back home. Take a look at what happened. Remember, these protests also come in the backdrop of what happened in the Harvard University on Wednesday, where agitations were held in favor of Palestine, but Harvard University also distanced itself. Let's remind you, this has also sparked many countries to act against acts of anti-Semitism. Germany has taken a zero-tolerance pledge against anti-Semitism, while France and Austria have banned all pro-Palestine agitations. The UK government has also demanded a complete clampdown on the pro-Palestine protests. Let's go across to Mithun Vijay Kumar, political analyst, and Sarfaraz Wani joining us on the broadcast. Thank you for joining us. Mithun Vijay Kumar, how do you look at it? Because on one hand, the entire world is shocked at the pictures that are emerging from Israel. Babies who have been mutilated, they've been butchered, and the visuals are absolutely horrifying. But on the other hand, you're seeing protests that have come out across the world.
I'm hearing the speech of Modi ji. I can hear the speech of Modi ji in between. I'm having an audio issue. Can you please fix that?
All right, we'll ask our technical team to look into that. Then let me take this across to Sarfaraz Wani. These are colleges. In the campuses, you're seeing the kind of agitations that are taking place. Pro-Palestine, yes, but the cause is not about Palestine for now, because we have innocents who are dying in Israel.
Let me tell my viewers that let's be on the correct side of the history. The Western propaganda, which is running right now in the media by the channels funded by the West, should not sway us from the fact that we are talking about two entities. One entity is Gaza, which is a small pocket of land inhabited by around 2.5 million people. And whatever goes there, their food, their medicines, their fuel, their electricity, which is cut off right now, everything comes from Israel. And this is not something which is happening since days. This has been happening since decades. And this whole area is being cordoned off by Israel on one side and by Egypt on one side. And their whole life is being run by Israel. Now you tell me, when the persons react to the atrocities which are being committed against them, against whom? Against a mighty state called Israel, which is being funded by US, which is being funded by UK, which has the world's sophisticated army, which has Iron Dome system.
Is it about being on the wrong side of history? Mithun Vijay Kumar, if you can hear me now, he says it's about being on the right side of history, but there are innocents being butchered in Israel. Should college campuses really emerge in talking about the Palestinian cause as of now?
See, any sensible human would understand, that this is an unprovoked attack from Hamas, a terrorist organization. This is not an issue between Israel and Palestine, but it's an issue between Israel and Hamas. And Hamas is just like ISIS, a terrorist organization. And anyone would understand that this attack on Israel was very much similar to the attack of 9/11, or you could compare it to any other terrorist attack in the world. Now, India, as a civilized country which follows, international conventions, has supported the cause of Israel against what is clearly a terror attack. Now, there are some people, it's very unfortunate that there are some people within the country who have an issue with India supporting Israel. And they are, in fact, pushing a narrative of supporting Hamas and saying that, what has happened to Israel is what they deserve. And you could see this in media, you could see this in the left wing circles. And that is being propagated across the country. And, these people who are protesting in the campuses, they're conveniently forgetting the fact that, this is Israel's fight for survival against a terrorist organization. And while there is always scope for international discussions on the, Israel-Palestine issue, this is not an Israel-Palestine issue. This is Israel-Hamas issue. Here you're dealing with a terrorist organization that has provoked a government by killing more than thousands of its people. Can I speak, please? By thousands of people, committing mass rapes, beheading even children. This is the kind of, entity that Israel is dealing with. And here we are sympathizing Palestine, and we are diverting the issue. This is clearly an issue between Israel and Hamas. And to support this barbarity is even worse.
Sarfaraz, isn't it worrying when campuses come out and, political parties come out and speak about the Palestinian cause right now, when they should be coming out to call out Hamas for what it is, a terror organization? Do stay with us. We also want to speak about the pro-Palestine rally that is now taking place in varsities. A Jewish student has broken down, questioning the university official on how this can even be allowed at a time when their family members are being butchered back home. There are video proofs that are available, and yet campuses are allowing this. Take a look at this.
They want him dead. Please.
So this isn't about what happened on the weekend. Why can't they just go up there?
Allowed! They want our people dead! They want us killed!
And so part of
How is it allowed? Why are you allowing this? Why
why can't they just go up there?
Isn't this worrying? This was in the University of Washington. Sarfaraz Bani, isn't it worrying that this is what is happening in the campuses? You're pushing this kind of an agenda where in the campuses, students are reduced to tears. Their family members are back home being butchered. And there are rallies in their own campuses abroad as well, where they're seeing that people have come out not to condemn these killings, but to support them.
See, this is worrying for the whole Western media right now. But it is not worrying what is happening to the people of Gaza right now. Do you understand that they are under blockade right now? There is no food, there is no water, there is no electricity. Can you understand such a situation?
Okay, but
where
isn't
they
there
have
false
nothing to
equivalence?
eat?
You're saying that
And
they don't
now
have food, they don't have water. But if they are suffering there, is it necessary that people from Israel, who are not connected to it at all, should also be suffering?
So who is being committing atrocities? Since decades, Israel is being attacking Gaza. Do you understand that what has happened?
So does that mean it's justified? So you're saying that because of what Israel is doing, it's justified. Their women and children can be butchered, and it's justified because Israel has committed a wrong by what it's doing in Gaza. So all of this is justified. There are pictures of babies who have been butchered, elderly who have not been spared. But you're saying all of this is acceptable because Israel has called it upon itself.
No, I will show you pictures how Palestinians have been treated there. Can I?
Okay.
Is my
Mithun
camera?
Kumar,
See,
please come in here because this is a comparison that happens time and again with questions being raised. If children are being butchered in Israel, similar is the situation in Gaza as well. And this is brought out time and again that there are children who are suffering on both sides.
See, unlike Hamas that is carrying out, car bombings, Israel is only doing targeted attacks on Hamas locations. They are not targeting the civilians, unlike Hamas the attacks from the other side. Please allow me to speak. Please allow me to speak. You are supporting barbarity, which is even worse than the barbarity itself. You are supporting the crime. You are speaking on behalf of Hamas, and people who are speaking on behalf of Hamas are supporting terrorism. You are indirectly supporting and endorsing terrorism. Please stop doing that. Please be empathetic towards the children and the women who got killed in Israel. So all I have to say here is, the people who are supporting this, unfortunately, we have a lot of voices from India who are supporting the cause of, Hamas or maybe the terrorist cause. But this is what is the least we can expect from a civilized nation like us. But the problem here is the hatred towards the right-wing ecosystem or the right-wing ideology itself has reached a point where they're fine, supporting terrorists than, supporting a right-wing established government.
No, but is there no limit to hatred? That's the question, Mr. Sarfaraz. You may have a hatred, as you're saying, that Israel is wrong on several counts. But does the hatred take it to such an extent where you're saying that it's fine if children are being butchered, it's fine if, this hatred is spreading on to several universities across the world, Jews and Israelis across the world who have nothing to do with what's happening in Gaza could also be suffering, could also face such consequences. But you're saying all of that is now acceptable.
No, what I am trying to say is that there is a clear red line. Who is the oppressor and who is the oppressed? The oppressor clearly is the mighty Israel, which has a nuclear arsenal, which is being funded by the whole West. And on the other hand, you have a blocked this pocket of land. They have nothing to do except these rockets which they are firing.
Blocked pocket of land versus people, innocents who are being killed. I'm sure you can see that it's not the same. You are saying that their rights have been taken away because there's been a blockade there. But on one side, you have a blockade, and on the other side, you have terrorists who are killing children, not sparing the elderly, raping women, filming all of it, keeping many people hostage. I'm sure you can see that it's just not the same. Thanking you both for joining us on the broadcast. We'll have to leave it at that. But the bigger debate, of course, is on the kind of hatred that is spreading across, even in universities. And there are many who still, despite the proof that has been provided by Israel, refusing to condemn it.